and beautiful, beautiful Buccoo, to be specific. May not be so beautiful these days with some of the issues that they're having, but we are going to find out some more about what is happening as we speak to the PRO of the Buccoo Village Council, Winston Ferreira. Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Ria.
Glad to have you with us this morning.
I'm very happy to be here, and I want to thank CTV to give us the opportunity of this platform to discuss the issues concerning our community.
It's a pleasure. What are some of the issues affecting your community?
Well, like any other community in Tobago, we have a prevailing scenario with youth delinquency. Aside from that, we have some infrastructural issues that need to be attended to as soon as possible. Okay.
Now, go ahead. No, you were talking youth issues, but you know, when you hear Tobago, you don't really think that there are too many negative things happening in Tobago. I mean, we are seeing more, unfortunately, taking place, but you never really think negative when you think Tobago.
Well, with any other developing society, there are certain ills that come with it. There are pros and cons.
Yeah.
The fact is that everything is more or less associated, okay? So you have the delinquency problem on one side, and then you have certain infrastructural works that are languishing presently, that kind of does not allow for the village council to operate with any kind of efficacy in terms of the social, economic framework of the village.
What are some of those infrastructural problems that you're
well,
having?
at presently, we have something on the boards called the Buccoo Waterfront Project, right? And it's an extension to the Buccoo Integrated Facility Development. Okay, so a boardwalk is supposed to be constructed, right, to the western end of the Buccoo Integrated Facility. In turn, additionally, the walkway that carries the people to the jetty is in dire need of repair. In fact, it's very dangerous. So therefore, the economic activity that Buccoo is known for, one of the main economic activities that Buccoo is known for, basically the reef, because the Buccoo Reef gets its name from the Buccoo Point, is greatly hampered because of that infrastructural element not being up to mark, up to spec.
Speaking of the Buccoo Reef, what's the situation with that now?
Well, there's been many reports, and I'm sure you're privy to all of them, right? The situation with the marine park itself, over a period of time, there's been deterioration, man-made, as well as natural deterioration that occurs. But the man-made has had more impact on the actual reef, the existence of the reef, other than just the natural elements that exist as consistent in any kind of flora-fauna arrangement that exists, or the ecosystems in Tobago.
What is the tourist industry like with respect to specifically the Buccoo region? Very beautiful area. It is lovely, so much to offer. How would you say tourism has been developed in that area or not developed in that area? And have you seen less or more tourists coming?
Well, every individual property would have a different take on that question.
Right. Yeah.
The general consensus coming out from the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association has there been a massive decline in arrivals. Okay, so in the instance relative to Buccoo, you tend to find that Buccoo and environs, you tend to find that the type of accommodation there are more along the line of guest houses or self-catering apartments. Okay, so during the high season, let's say from December the 15th to April the 30th, you would look at more of a domestic market coming specifically during the time of the Easter period, whereas earlier in the winter season, as we refer to it in the industry, from the December the 15th onwards to like March the 31st, you tend to see an influx of foreign visitors. Okay, from me being a stakeholder, because I also own a guest house and a restaurant and bar in that area, our our figures show a slight decline, but that's based on the fact that our size is relatively small. So it's much easier to market our product more effectively and overcome or assail any problems that might occur because of the lessened arrival situation.
Okay, what would the Buccoo Village Council like to see being done in Buccoo? I know you mentioned some of the infrastructural problems that you are experiencing right now, but how would you like to see it developed?
Well, Buccoo, as I said, it has a binary economic activity that occurs. One would be around the tourism side, and the other would be more along fishing, right? So we want to, from the perspective of the Buccoo Village Council, partner with the state relative to certain initiatives that we are looking to put forward to them. One of them, targeting the delinquency element, we are looking at creating a street steward program where we target a certain demographic, let's say from 18 to 35. And what we will do is, through that program, is develop a sense of community spirit, right? That will shift them away from the tendency or the appeal of what delinquency tends to offer, you know what I mean? Or leads to, you know what I mean? In terms of the infrastructure, well, the Buccoo Waterfront project has been identified since last year by the Secretary of Finance to be started as soon as possible. But at present, as with everything else as government, I guess there's a lot of bureaucracy behind it. But within the interim, this particular project is a major driver in the whole overall approach of the Buccoo Village Council, and is partnering with the various other NGOs and the state.
Okay. Well, I hope to see some development soon with respect to the Buccoo region. Like I said, it's beautiful. Tobago on the whole, you know, lovely, lovely island.
And you might be well aware, the southwest and western regions have developed considerably in terms of the infrastructure, but it's more privately driven, you know, not so much state, okay?
Yeah.
And when we look at Buccoo, we could look at comparisons going up the coast, Castara being one. Recently, some figures came out of Castara where they say they have 150 room stock, and they're hitting 85% occupancy.
Brilliant.
Okay, yeah, 85% occupancy. And on certain periods of time, they go up to 100, right? That was when everything, like, you know, comes in. There's a massive influx. They are consistent. I believe the community has a lot to do with the socio-economic environment that exists within that community, because each community in Tobago has a certain defined nature.
Yeah.
In terms of Buccoo, you're looking at the goat races, which is a major event, you know, over the Easter weekend.
Yes.
Okay? Now, this year, we clocked at least 3,400 people coming through the gate into the ground. Okay? So, if it is possible for 3,400 people to converge on Buccoo Point at that, for that one day, then it's quite possible to create a consistent flow of people coming to Buccoo to not only witness the events, but everything else that Buccoo has to offer. One of them being, and we hope, will be the Buccoo Waterfront project.
Yeah. So we hope that that comes on stream. We were just showing some pictures from the goat race as well.
Yes.
So
have you ever been
to the goat races?
Yeah.
No, actually I haven't. You know, I've been to Tobago so many times and never. I need to put that on my calendar.
Well, put it down in your calendar.
I need to do that.
So next year, when you
Definitely.
come, hopefully, we will have a brand new spanking waterfront that will enhance the beauty of Buccoo, as well as you'll be able to experience something that is only
out of the world.
Yes. Indigenous only to Buccoo and to Tobago.
Thank you so much, Mr. Winston Ferreira.
Anytime.
The PRO of the Buccoo Village Council in Tobago, as we say, good morning, Tobago.